So you're tired of playing the same old scales over and over. Need something to spice up your playing a little bit? Well, I got just something for you. What we're going to do in this video is cover the pentatonic scale, and not the old crusty one that I played in my last videos, which you should know by now. And if you don't, you know the drill.
Punch yourself in the face.
Because you're stupid. No, I'm just kidding. Because you aren't watching my videos, which makes you stupid. No, it doesn't. But you see where I'm going with this. Alright. Anyway, what we're going to do is we're going to cover the application of the pentatonic scale. The pentatonic scale, if you know, is a 5-note scale. Hence the name penta. At least I think that's what it means. I'm pretty sure of it. Anyway, penta, 5. So if we omit 2 tones from any scale, we're going to come up with a pentatonic scale of some type. So the tones that we're going to focus on is the 2nd degree and the 6th degree, because these are the tones that are omitted from the pentatonic, which most people are comfortable and familiar with playing. So it'll be easy to apply this to different modes from the major scale. So I'm not going to get into a bunch of theory and jargon. That should be enough. Rewind this, take some notes on that, and if you don't understand it, you know the drill. No, go get some private lessons or read a book. Something like that. Should help you out. But let's get going, because I think this stuff will be pretty useful. So, just to clarify, what we're going to cover here is 3 different modes. We're going to cover the Ionian mode, which is your 1st mode. We're going to cover the Lydian mode, which is your 4th mode. And we're going to cover the mixed Lydian mode, which is your 5th mode. And what we're doing is we're going to take each of these 3 modes and we're going to construct different types of pentatonic scales out of them. Each of them having their own unique quality, which you can play over different types of chords. For example, all of them will work over a major chord. 2 of them will work over major 7 chords quite well. 1 will work over a major 7 sharp 11, if you like that sound. And the 3rd one will work over a dominant 7, which is a flat 7 in a major chord. So you ready? You following me? Let's do this. So the first mode we're going to cover is the Ionian mode. So what we're going to do is simply omit the 2nd and 6th degrees, just like we talked about. So 1st note, 3rd note, 4th note, 5th note, 7th note, 1st note, 3rd, 4th, 5th, 7th, 1st, 3rd. Now I'm going to go ahead and give you the degrees, so hopefully you'll take some notes on this stuff, and this should help you out in the future with any other types of modes if you want to get creative with them as well. So what we have here, we're playing in the key of B major, by the way. So what we're going to do is play the 1st tone, a major 3rd, perfect 4th, perfect 5th, major 7, and then an octave or another root. Then a major 3rd, perfect 4th, perfect 5th, major 7, root, major 3rd. Let's go over that again. This also works over a major 7 chord. Alright, so the 2nd one that we're going to go over is the Lydian, which would work over a major 7 or a sharp 11 if you want to get that tone in there. Sort of an interesting little tone. This one I use quite a bit because it sort of sounds and shares notes from the Phrygian. I'm not going to get into that as well, but this is one that you've probably recognized in a couple of my solos if you even listen to my stuff. So what we have is a root, major 3rd, sharp 4th, perfect 5th, major 7, root, major 3rd, sharp 4th, perfect 5th, major 7, root, major 3rd. So let's listen to this. very distinguishable sound in this. This is one I like quite a bit. I used to call it the pyramid scale because it kind of looks like a pyramid as you're building it. Or, how do you play that chord? I'm not much of a jazz guy, so I don't ever play like sharp 11s or anything like that. And finally, what we're going to cover is the Lydian. This is your dominant 7 pentatonic, which would work over a dominant 7. So a major chord or a dominant 7. So what we have with this one is a root, major 3rd, perfect 4th, perfect 5th, flat 7, root, major 3rd, perfect 4th, perfect 5th, flat 7, root, major 3rd. So this is one you might hear in some kind of more traditional blues that a lot of guys are sneaking in. And what it is, it's basically the minor pentatonic with a major 3rd in it. So if you played your regular, and guys will switch this back and forth if you're playing a traditional blues progression. You're going to be using all dominant 7 chords. Something like that. So what you might hear is little things like that. Again, I'm not a blues player by any means, so that's not my forte, but you can definitely apply that to a bunch of different styles, and it sounds kind of happy when you play it. So let's run over those again really quick. We had our Ionian, so this is the Ionian Pentatonic Scale. Now we have our Lydian Pentatonic Scale. Go over that one again. And finally, we have our Lydian Pentatonic Scale. So keep in mind, all these will work over major chords. If I'm playing an A major chord, I just start on A and I can play any of these. I can play the dominant one. Or the Ionian. So just keep in mind, major 7s, Ionian and Lydian are both major 7. Chords would be derived from those modes, and the Lydian would construct a dominant 7 because Lydian naturally has a flat 7 in it. So, one more quick thing I'm going to add here. Keep rewinding this and going over this. This will be a cool thing that you'll probably need to know. You can use all of these in one key because all of them have diatonic relations with each other. For example, if I'm in G major, then G would be my 1 chord, my Ionian. Which means that C would be my 4 chord, which would be my Lydian. Which also means that D would be my 5 chord, which would be Lydian. Which also brings you to the 6th chord, which in this case would be E minor, pentatonic. Now this is all relative diatonic principles for the key of G major. G is the 1 chord, C would be the 4 chord, D would be the 5 chord, E would be the 6 chord. If you're not familiar with this theory, the 6th chord is your natural minor or your relative minor. The 1 is your major. So let's do the same concept and transpose it from the key of A. In the key of A is your 1 chord. Which means that D would be your 4 chord. So what are we going to play over the 4? Lydian. Which means E is your 5. Which you would play your dominant 7 or Mixolydian. Which means that F sharp would be your 6, your minor. Back to A, so you can play your major pentatonic, which you might find in a old school book, which is just playing the 3rd note of the relative minor, or in the pentatonic case, the 2nd. Or now you can use that tone and play an entirely new scale, which would be your Ionian pentatonic. Like I say, if this stuff is a little bit complex for you, get some lessons. I mean, if you've been playing a while and you can actually apply some of this stuff, I'd say you owe it to yourself to understand a pretty basic concept of theory. I'm self-taught. I did take some theory lessons when I was 20 from an understudy of Vincent Berdice, which put things in perspective. But most of the studying and understanding that I know about music theory, I did myself from books. I've read several books, be them Berkeley, Musicians Institute, Hal Leonard. Doesn't really matter. You kind of take the initiative to learn what you want. I mean, the information's out there. Take the time, and like I say, you owe it to yourself. Go ahead and get it done. And with that being said, get rockin', and I will see you in the next video. Peace, everybody.